Hello, hello. Hi, Kimberly. I'll invite you as a speaker. Okay, I can see you in my screen, but I can't see you actually. Only your profile picture. Can you see and hear me? I'll send you something in the chat in case you can't hear me. Are you on Google Chrome? Oh, that is weird. Would you mind leaving and rejoining just to see if that fixes it? Sometimes that happens. I apologize. It's just glitchy sometimes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Great, great. Glad you fixed it.
Yeah, a little
Uh,
moment there.
yes, that always happens. I don't know if you've been watching these, but it's totally fine.
Uh,
Okay, so thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and with us. This session
yeah.
is being recorded so folks can watch it later. Sometimes time is not optimal, but people trickle in and out as we go. And I'll just start by reading your bio and I'll start sharing the screen as well so you can talk about your work and we can get to it. Does that sound good?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
good. So 1 second because I just closed your bio. And
Okay.
then that
That's
is
kind
open.
of.
Yes, let me find it. I apologize. My internet today is also not the best. Well, it's not loading anymore. Would you mind just talking a little bit about your work first and your process, and then I can start sharing the screen? I apologize.
Sure. Sure. So, I do body casting and filming with a 360 camera with participants, right? Which includes myself, but I'm working with queer and mothers, queer community and mothers, and that I'm literally embodying the collective by casting people and talking about different ideas. So last last summer I was making this show called Pussy Pushback, like in the lead up to the election, and
Yes.
that my daughter was voting for the first time in the election, and we cast her and her friends, and that there was like a circle of guardian mothers, and then there was the 18-year-olds who were voting for the first time, and Yeah, that and then that I brought in the community out from there. There was like a non-binary sentinel watching over everything, community cast members of hands. So anyway, so I've gone from very political to here. I have a solo show at the moment called Traveses, which I'm going to talk about and show you the images from, and that's currently on until August 29th. Yeah, thanks. And yeah, you can go ahead and go to the first slide. And that I've gone into more of a lyrical space from the really political. The political is still, of course, here, but it's more embedded within other layers and personal realms. So yeah, so should I just dive in, or was there something else that you wanted to say?
Yes, please dive in.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, the show is called Traveses, and so it's me moving between different events in my life, right? So we were in the pandemic, and there is photos of, you can try the next slide. Yeah, so on the back wall here, we see photos of landscape, and I was taking a lot of walks in nature during the pandemic, and that these become both like a crossing and a fairy tale of, you know, moving into something new, moving into the forest, the unknown. Is the imagery and connections that I'm making there. But Traveses overall, right, just to give you the overall theme, then so we're leaving the pandemic, we're also leaving a marriage, and the, you know, moving through divorce, moving through the uncertainty of how that is going to affect my life as a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm moving into also, and you will see in another room, it's celestial realms. So yeah, so Traveses is moving through all of those layers. And yeah, so we can advance forward. Yeah, so here is other shots of the forest, and these were shot in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So the 360 camera is creating this kind of globe effect. I use the, you know, 360 camera GoPro is like, you know, for sports photography, but what I do is I slice it. I'm only using half of the image, so I'm really manipulating the technology, and so I'm getting this really lovely effect that I was a video artist for 20 years, and that I was putting videos within glass jars during that time, and really playing with water, using the illusion to like make the video bigger. And so now I'm doing that within the camera. And yeah, so you can show the next slide. Yeah, so then this is the celestial room that I mentioned. So I do have some footage of the video playing later, but just to unpack it a little bit here. So yeah, so through all of these experiences, right, I think that my spiritual backing like has been like a current running through everything, and moving me through like difficulties and giving me direction. And so this room is really speaking to that realm, and there is a sculpture here called the Sky Tiger, and then a video playing that again is 360. It shows me walking into the horizon. So you can, yeah, go ahead and go to the next slide. Oh, and something that I didn't mention there was like that there's plexi like up at the top, right? And so my video image is reflected like 4 times in the space. It's again, like, you know, speaking to the celestial realms, and also referencing back to like these illusions that I was always creating in video. And then yeah,
So
the next,
sorry to interrupt, just a
sure,
technical question. So in the room, we would see 4 videos, the same video playing across the 4 walls or 3 walls, I'm not sure.
yeah, so it's across 3 walls that this video is reflected. So we are seeing 2 at the moment, and then in the next slide we see part of the video in the other half of the room. So it's
Yes.
reflected on this. So we'll see it a little later playing in a video, but
Okay.
this figure is one of the same girls who I cast in the other exhibit, Pushy Push Back, right? She's 18. She stood in here for me. I wanted a praying child, and that this figure then becomes kind of more mythological, lyrical. It's called Made to Pray, and yeah, it's talking about kind of childhood traumas that I have crossed through as well, right? So, and that is what I'm referencing in this room, like touching on, in addition to how I'm moving through the rest of the challenges. So we can go forward from here. But yeah, please interrupt me if you have any questions about anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is painting, a sculptural painting that we saw in the other room, right? But it was across from the 360 photography. This is called Stasis, and you can see that the body parts here are trapped. I have kind of an ice-like feel. And my materials here are the body cast plaster, bandages, and wool. And actually, this is one of my child's like sheets, right? I was making a garment for the sky tiger, right, to wear in the video, and it became too heavy, like for a performance, right, to wear in the video. But then I was liking some aspects of it, so it started morphing into this painting form instead of a garment. Yeah.
Very interesting to see. Feels like it's emerging from the wall to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this is called Fist in the Air. And this is really speaking a lot to Donald Trump and the times that we're living in at the moment, right? So I said that this was moving into more lyrical space, but the lyrical, like, it is within this the forest and the celestial room, and then this woman is like knocking on the wall of the celestial room. This is also, you know, in reference to the divorce. But the materials here again are plaster bandages, and then I cover with gesso. I create structure with wool that's used for insulation, actually, right, and houses. So it's important to me that it's like natural materials. But then I began last year. I returned to painting, and yeah, from being a video artist for so many years, and that the color is also really important. Yeah, so oil pigments aren't the most environmentally, you know, like they have some environmental impact, right? Like, but other everything else is like natural materials. Yeah, you want to move to the next slide? This is called Medusa. It's hanging in the same wall as the fist in the air figure. So I made this the summer before, 2024. And yeah, speaking to the myths, you know, like Medusa is a figure who, you know, has had her children taken away from her. I think they were killed, right? And so she's turned into this monster, and then her head is like used by somebody else to kill people, right, or to turn them to stone. Yeah, so how women are betrayed is embedded within this piece. If you want to move to the next. Yeah, and then this is more, it's a joining between the forest photos and the body casting. This one's called Green Altar. And that is more reminding me of like Celtic altars that you might see in the landscape. Yeah. So I see a question here speaking to the relationship between the figurative sculpture and the video work. And how do you envision using the sculptures in the future's video work? Okay, so let's watch this video and kind of see that interaction. That was something that I was really interested in. Just a second, like I was just really interested in getting to do within the show, because before I hadn't gotten to combine body casting and video yet, but I did do that in the show. Yeah, so you can go ahead.
Okay, 1 second. Let me know if it's playing because I can't fully see.
Okay. It's not playing now, but you can actually play the audio. It's just bells. So we're just walking through this show here, and seeing the photos, which I have as still images later, so we can look at them more slowly. But this gets us to the video room, and yeah, so there's the guardian mothers on the red square, the big painting in the background. And yeah, so I was interested in combining the video with the body sculptures. I'm working on getting a commission in San Francisco to have a storefront. And so I wanted to show how these things go together. And so the video is really more creating the fairy tale realm, and the figures. Okay. We'll come back. Yeah, here you can see how I'm projecting on the video. And then again, this one is, I have another video in just a minute that shows the room a bit slower. This is the overview of the whole show. And then, yeah, showing the Medusa piece there at the top, just in the air. So, yeah, so the video here is kind of like walking us through the mystery, but then these stills are allowing us to see like the story more quickly. Yeah, but yeah, to answer Colette's question, if we go to the next video, I have that other room where I combined Yeah. So this is the same video, but are we able to go to the next one? Oh, so I'll answer that other question in a second. Like, so we can watch this one first. That one's referencing my older work. The question. Yeah. So my. So I was mentioning that this one became more lyrical and more political. I see that so the figure went from being really realistic, a girl praying, to more of a kind of sphinx with the head removed and this cat head being placed on the back. She feels sort of like she's submerged in water, but also, yeah. So this moss is around her. So there's a lot of multi-layered imagery that's both tying back to the forest imagery and also leading us into a different realm. Yeah, so I just yesterday a videographer came to the show and documented it. So this footage is something that I've shot, and then I'm getting more refined video. So the glitchy that Colette's mentioning, it might be from this, or it's probably just a Zoom's playback issue. But to answer your other question about the videos in the jar, so I was filling the jar with water and placing video behind it, right? So I was making the illusion that the video was inside the jar, but it was actually behind it. Yeah. But and then that the water acted as a mirror, making the imagery larger and creating a kind of hologram effect as you walked around the sculpture. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so we can move to the next slide. So these are going to show some of the individual prints from the work. So the story starts in my bedroom, right, on Zoom. Actually, I think I was taking my first TAAS class, like sometime around, yeah, with Janine Antoni. I've loved her work forever, and that, a lot of the undergirding of my practice is embodiment. And so I would do my dances in my room, and I was more as my studio space at that time. I have a studio downstairs, but it just like felt warmer to be here. So that's why this is the beginning of this stills, and then the next one is this is called Rose Overview. So it's me walking through the forest, and that I'm taking this color from my bedroom and the candles from my bedroom and creating this digital painting mixed with the 360 photography. And yeah, we can go to the next one.
Is it a multi-exposure, or is just a 360 from above?
It's a just a 360 from above.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Let me share the next one.
Yeah, and this is called Into What's Next. So yeah, so this one was not shot in the same forest as the last shot, right? But yeah, but so the red overlay and the last shot was something that I added. It was just as green as, and just had a different perspective. But yeah, so you can see the bridge that was in, yeah, so these this video is actually the same video that I made the globe forest images from. Yeah, we can go to the next shot. So this one is called Pandemic Uncertainties. And yeah, that I like this, like stopping at the bridge like before crossing, and how the trees are swirling. And so, you know, this time of the pandemic, like this is how life like was feeling, right? All of the uncertainty of the world swirling around you, and
Yes.
and what directions we would be taking, right? Yeah, you can go to the next one. Oh, okay. So I just included those three. I think we saw these pretty well in the video, but these were the ones that are in the room with a video projection. And this, yeah, this is the beginning, right? This is actually also crossing the same bridge. It's just only half of the image, and we can go to the next.
Do they function as a triptych?
Yeah, so there's four. I think there's one more in the slideshow. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I got you excited.
Yeah. So there's four, and there were actually, you know, there's it's stills from a video, right? That I then upscale the resolution in order to be able to print it. And yeah, so there's an endless amount of stills, but I just picked some of my favorites to kind of, yeah, collapse the story in this visual printed form, and for that to accompany the video, or it can stand on its own. Yeah, and I think the after, okay, yeah, these show it's a different forest. This is in Oakland, San Joaquin Miller, and just a friend of mine. So this one is called Queer Tunnel, and then there's three of these, and they were above the desk. They have this, they're 10 by 24. So they kind of more feel like little windows. Yeah, if you want to show the next one, since it's three. Yeah, so I'm taking queer community into nature, having them film themselves, right? And so, yeah, so this is talking to, yeah, belonging. So this series, when it's apart from Traveses, then I call it reclaiming self in nature. And so yeah, again, it's about connecting to nature, and that I'm also showing this playful and kind of fairy tale aspect of it, which also feels a bit haunted, right? Like, do queer people always feel a sense of belonging that feels somewhat tentative, right? And the state of our environment feels very tentative. So I think that those feelings and uncertainties are within the imagery, and something that that I'm both like trying to like bring people opportunity to feel into helping one another through like these feelings, and also documenting the uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Colette has
Oh, sorry. Just
another
as a
one.
note as well, sorry to interrupt. I am not able to see the chat for some reason. This also happened in the last session. So if you do see a question in the chat, please feel free to address it as you have been doing so far, because that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, she was taking us back to the video and just saying that she liked the interplay between the sculptural objects and the video. So thank you, Colette. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that. Yeah. And yeah, so I wasn't sure how the format would be of, if it would be like people asking questions, or if I would be giving a full presentation without interruption. So yeah, I've shown you a lot. And I wonder, do you have any questions, Dora, or should I keep talking about
I do have a question, but the format is pretty open-ended. We usually, it depends. We either ask questions at the end or throughout. But my question, because you brought it up a couple times now, how do you see having different forests as part of the project? Because we see a forest first that I think it's part of, your day-to-day, or it's close to your home. And now we're in Oakland and we have a forest in between, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it just, it is what it is? What's your approach to this?
so yeah, so I live in Oakland, and so this is a local
Ah, okay.
forest where this friend of mine and I would walk a lot. Like, so this was kind of, a way to document how we were hanging out with each other, like during the pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that it turned into this series from there. But so when I go different places, so most of the forests that I'm documenting are local to me, within like Oakland, the East Bay, like to like Berkeley. But I had gone to a retreat, a women's retreat in Santa Cruz, and that's where also I shot a bunch of footage. But like the beach scene that we see in the video room, that is shot in Alameda, which is like in the East Bay as well. Like, so yeah, everybody thinks of the Bay Area and San Francisco, but there's so
Uh-huh.
many different beautiful spots like all around. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
sure. And Colette saying, I really enjoy the distorted, almost fisheye perspective in the videos and photographs. It's disorienting, creating a feeling of unbalanced, and also effective in creating these mysterious, magical worlds. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely something that I'm embedding in the work. Maybe we can go back to kind of the blue of the celestial room for a second?
Yes.
And yeah, that if we, or yeah, there
This
we
or
go.
this?
Yeah, you can go to that one, the Sphinx kind of one.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so this plaster bandages that I use, it has a lot of texture in the material. And when we look at it up close, it has kind of a suture-like feel to it. There's a lot of bumps and different things that get brought out with the paint and the gesso. So yeah, and then that I'm using the wool here to create another texture, right? That I'm playing with like the smoothness of the plaster bandages, and like when I coat it with gesso, and then I'm playing with the more organic and mossy like effects that I can make with the wool that I stuff and create like structure of the sculpture with. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because this idea of that material being really important for, again, this feeling of repair and tending, that is really important in my work, that I'm, like that everything is both like a spiritual practice and yeah, meditative practice, like of the act of making, the process of making the work. And also that because I'm working with real people and casting them, that this as an embodiment practice, right? When you cast someone and they're able to look at their own body from a different perspective, you create an experience for them that can bring out like something that they hadn't seen before. Yeah, so it's a healing approach that then within the materials I try to bring that out more. So yeah, we could look at and yeah, if you want to do, I think the slide before this is the fist in the air woman, or maybe a couple slides.
Here.
Yeah. So yeah, so here I was also playing with that material, and I think that in a future series I'm gonna like keep going with this, but there's a part of this like down under under the rump of the character, right, where it starts feeling almost like paper, right, and the
Yes.
person crumbling. And so while I have this more structure, sculptural structure here, I also see how I can make these into like flat objects. And so like that, like, yeah, so this sculpture really made me want to both like keep doing the approach of the sculptural object of casting someone, but also like taking the three-dimensional person and also flattening them.
Mm-hmm.
I recently got a grant from the city of Berkeley, and I'm going to be casting mothers and queer community, and creating an installation in a storefront. And so, yeah, so I don't know if I will explore the idea of turning three-dimensional people into paper sculptures, paper plaster sculptures, then, or like in another iteration in my studio. But that's definitely something that this sparked for me. So yeah, I see that there are about 9 people on a call. I wonder if there are other questions. I think we only have like, 5 more minutes or something, is it?
Yes. And
Yeah.
if anyone has more questions, please drop them in the chat. I really like, just as a comment, really seeing a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of threads there, even with our like community at TAAS. So you mentioned Janine's class. I also took that class at Home in the Body, and I think a lot about, the other artists who are even in this call. We have Andy and we have Amber who work about around the queer body in natural environments. So I'm really enjoying seeing all of this come together, at least in my mind.
Yeah, there is like overlap in the content. Yeah, like I was hearing Amber present her work recently, and yeah, like felt so related to like why I'm taking people into nature, why I'm documenting that process, and also why it's like having this like disconnected or disembodied feel to it, the uncertainty or the negotiation that has to happen. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Mhm.
Do we have any last questions in the chat? Stop sharing.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah. Yeah, so Amber's question is, what am I most excited to work on next? And so yeah, so with the City of Berkeley grant, like I am going to like be working with potentially with people I don't know as much, right? And it's very intimate work, right? When you're casting somebody's body. And I do have participants cast one another, right? It's like I don't want to be the artist, like in charge of the whole creative process. I want to empower people to find something that feels expressive to them as we're doing it. I'm helping them, but so I'm both excited and intimidated to work with people who I don't know as well, because I have generally been casting with people who are in my intimate circle, and so I think that is going to change the work and grow the work in I'm sure unexpected ways, right? I had to explain to the jurying committee for that why I was casting people, and that someone was saying, well, I don't think I would feel comfortable with that. And that's also part of the discussion. It's like, well, why are we really uncomfortable with our bodies? And
Yes.
and so we could end up casting like just a hand or a foot, like
Mhm,
the idea being like, what feels comfortable, like what, or
mhm.
could we just have a conversation about it, right? Like, so
Yes.
when I'm writing these grants and saying we're going to do queer body casting and trans body casting, there's a trans figure in my in the Traveses show that I didn't highlight, but yeah, so but that's was a dear friend of mine, and yeah, so the idea of any time you're saying you're going to cast trans people, it becomes so loaded that like that people think that that it's only interesting if you're casting like certain salacious body parts. But I think that even just putting the word trans on anything like makes it so loaded at the moment. So
Yes.
so I want to be gentle with the people who are participating, to make them
Yes.
find it therapeutic in some way,
Mhm.
and then to
That is
share it with others.
that is very thoughtful, and I really am looking forward to seeing how this project develops. Please do come back and share with us.
Oh, great. Yeah, I will. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Now, I guess we're at the closing time, but I will upload our recording to the archive if anyone wants to rewatch it or is watching for the first time. And I really appreciate your time and sharing your work with us today. Thank you.
Thanks. And can I download it, like, so I could post
Yes,
something from, like, on Instagram or something? Yeah.
yes, of course. I'll send it to your email or be in the chat.
Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Great. Thank you so much. And I'll see you at TAAS.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.